Alright, what's up guys? Today I'm going to be showing you how to change out your headlight in your 2000 through 2005 Dodge Neon. This is an srt4 model here, but it all applies the same way because it's the same in all Neons. So what you're going to have is you're going to have two 8mm bolts. You're going to have this one right here and this one right here, and they're extremely long. So what you're going to need is a ratchet and an 8mm socket. I chose a deep well just so I'm not up on top of everything, so I'm going to take these out and then we'll show you the rest. Alright, now we got the bolts loosened up. I'm going to show you what they look like. You have a long bolt, but that's actually the shorter of the two. And then you have an extremely long bolt. And I'm going to show you why they're that length here in just a minute. Let me pull this headlight out. What you're going to do is just pull the headlight forward, basically try to keep it away from anything, from making contact on anything. And you have two bulbs back here. What I'm going to do is, since I'm going ahead and putting another headlight, I'm just going to twist that bulb, pull it out, and then I'm going to do somewhat the same thing with this one. There's this little ring right here, this little star looking ring. You're going to turn that, pull it back like this onto the harness right there, pull it back, get it kind of out of the way, and then just kind of wiggle your bulb, don't go crazy, and then it's going to come right out. Now you're going to do the exact same thing when you put all that back in, except in reverse. Now I'm going to show you why those bolts are so long. You have two places that the bolt basically mounts. You have this one for the short bolt and this one for the long bolt. When you put that back in, you're going to need to look through the bottom when you run this bolt down, and you're going to have to hook it right in this piece here. If you can see what I'm looking at, you're going to have to hook it right there. What it's basically doing is using that pressure to hold that headlight in after mounting through there. So that's the long bolt where it's going to mount back at. Now for your short bolt, which is going to be a lot easier to see because it's basically right here, your short bolt, I grabbed the long one again, your short bolt's going to run down through here and just run straight through all of that. If you can see what I'm looking at right there, straight through all of that, and then it's going to mount right back there in that hole. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go grab the other headlight, and I'm going to go ahead and bolt it in. Alright, now that we got the new headlight, I want to point out a couple things that are going to be different for you. Now, I'm basically upgrading my headlight to a dual beam. We have a low beam and a high beam, where the old light, if you can see, is pretty much just a single beam headlight. So, mine also has the LEDs and stuff in it, so it has extra wires on the back that you're not going to have to worry about with your new headlight. If you do happen to get one of these, you can pretty much wire it up however you want. It's pretty much plug and play. It comes with a harness that basically converts your single beam into dual beam. But if you're not going aftermarket, you don't have to worry about it. If you are, you're going to need to unplug this bulb. Basically, just lift these two little prongs off right here and then push them back. Cast that right there to the side. And then for the orange bulb, it is now going to mount up here at the top. If you're using a factory replacement headlight, it's going to go exactly where it did originally on the factory headlight. And then you're going to take your plug. You can go ahead and pull this piece off. If you're using an aftermarket headlight, you're not going to need it no more. If you're using the factory one, you're still going to need that. And then you're just going to sit the bulb in. Now I have all these extra wires for the LEDs in. I'm just going to run these straight through here. Actually, I'm going to run this right here through this other opening right here. There we go. Pull those through there. Run these other LED wires straight through there, like so. And then I'm just going to push all this back up in there. Back in there. There we go. Just push your headlight back up in there. Make sure your gasket kind of stays on the outside of your fender. You can basically see where it's going to sit. That's where my car's been repainted, and the factory gasket kind of got in the way of doing that. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and run my short bolt through. I'm going to go ahead and probably start a thread or two right here. Now it's going to be kind of tough getting this to kind of go in because of the way it uses the pressure, but it should mount up just fine. And anytime you use something other than a factory headlight, you're probably going to have to finesse it and get it to go in a little differently because it's not really made up to OEM specs. As you can see, that bolt wants to fight a little bit, but I got it to go in there. And then once again, you're just going to run it down, watch for there, and you want to put it in the center of that loop. And I'm going to go ahead and show you what I'm talking about, the center of that loop. I'm going to try to anyway. Let me get my flashlight out. What you're going to do is, right back there, if you see that bolt, it is ran through that center loop right there. Right there where the flashlight's shining, right there. That's what you're going to want to do. Then you're going to basically just tighten it down. After that, you are pretty much good to go. So we're going to go ahead and tighten that down with a ratchet. Alright, now we're all tightened down. Now it's time to go ahead and test out your headlight, make sure everything works, which if you went to factory setup, I'm gonna like what I did, you're pretty much good to go. Now, throughout this process, you're probably gonna hear some popping and some cracking. Don't worry about that. That's basically the new headlight kind of popping into place because it hasn't had the pressure put on it the way that these bolts work. Basically the way it does, it's running through and basically prying. It's using pressure to hold that in instead of just being bolted in. So if you hear popping and cracking, don't worry about it. Nothing is hurt. It's just basically getting that plastic set in place to where it's going to sit permanently. So anyways, guys, it's been Nitro Kid 98. Like this channel or like this video, and there's a button either here or there's a button either here. You need to hit that button. It says subscribe on a big nice red button. And don't forget to go to the Nitro Kid 98 Facebook page and like it, guys. Hit that like button, and there's gonna be a lot of awesome stuff on there coming up. Anyways, guys, Nitro Kid 98, hope you enjoyed the video.